I am Dr. K.N. Jacob, and today I want to share with you some 4 lessons from my open heart surgery exactly 1 year ago, 4th of September 2020. I went through an open heart surgery, and I remember the lead doctor told me a number of people go through what they call the heart bypass. They do the bypass surgery, but for me they had to cut through this chest bone. I don't know whether you can see. They had to cut through my chest bone. And I didn't know that the heart is not on the left. I actually learned that time that the heart is right in the middle of the chest. So they had to cut through my bones, get into my heart. I went through serious heart failure. I nearly died. It's a miracle that I'm alive, because I nearly stopped breathing. It was an emergency. My aortic valve collapsed. So the aortic valve is supposed to close like this. It was not closing. It was going like this, not closing. As a result, there was blood leakage in the heart. And my heart dilated from 3.5 centimeters to 7 centimeters because of the leakage of blood in the heart. My heart dilated to 7 centimeters. It was pressed now by other organs. It became weak and became almost completely unfunctional. It was an emergency. And I want to share with you some 4 lessons that I learned when I went through my open heart surgery. Lesson number 1, stop covering your wounds. Expose your weakness. Let the mechanic know where your car is damaged. Don't allow your car to rot in the parking lot. Now, what is so strange is that I had to be washed when I was in the hospital. And especially the night before the surgery, 3rd of September last year, something funny happened. A young girl, a young nurse in her 20s came and said to me, she's going to shower me 3 times that night before the surgery. Now, this is a young girl, extremely beautiful, and she told me she's going to give me a shower. I got very, very uncomfortable. And I mean, she was washing everywhere. As if that's not enough, she said she's going to shave me. She began to shave my chest, my armpits, even on my private part, she was shaving me. I have never felt so uncomfortable in my lifetime. And so many things were going on in my head. And I had to be showered for the next 2 weeks. You know what? If you want to recover, you have to undress before the doctor. Stop covering your wounds. Stop covering your injuries. There is a doctor above who wants to treat you, but you're still wearing masks. You're still covering yourself inside your sheets. It is time you remove those sheets. It's time you remove your clothes and begin to dress with His healing. Begin to dress and cover up with His grace. The more you cover up your shame, the more you get embarrassed and you don't reach out for help. The more you don't ask for help, the more you remain static in your condition. Doctors told me if I don't go through that emergency open heart surgery, I have perhaps a couple of weeks to live. Now, this was no longer my body. They knew me in out. They did all the blood tests on earth. They did several tests when I was in hospital. I was on oxygen. So I was naked in out. My body was naked before them. And my inside systems, they knew them like in out. A lot of x-rays, a lot of blood tests. There is not a single thing they never tested to be 100% sure about how they are going to do the operation. My message for you, stop covering your wounds. If you are hurting, ask for help. Don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed. Don't feel embarrassed to ask for help. There is nothing you've gone through that others have not gone through. Lesson number 2. Lesson number 2. People identify with our pains. People identify with our pains. Now, as you all know, you follow me on Facebook and other social media platforms. And I thank God for the people God has given me on my Facebook page, over 1.47 million followers. But this is what surprised me. I have never received more comments in my lifetime than the day I was admitted in hospital. A single day, I received over 35,000 comments. Well wishes, people praying for me, others even fasting for me, which is a great thing. Now, and I want to say this, thank you so much for studying with me in prayers. And I want to urge you, don't walk through this journey alone. Surround yourself with a strong social system. Surround yourself with people who can support you in prayer. There comes a time you can't pray for yourself. Surround yourself with people who wish you well, who can stand up for you in the gap when you cannot even say a prayer for yourself. But on the flip side of the coin, with all the love I receive from people, I want to tell you the flip side of the coin, which is a little bit disturbing. This is a bit disturbing to my fans who love me, who honor me, who respect me, who follow me, who learn from me. The flip side of the coin is this. A lot of people don't genuinely love you. They identify with your pain, they identify with your struggle. The same people, if I posted something like a graduation, or I got a car, or I bought a home, or I achieved an award, they will not come back and congratulate me. Why? Because while people seem to be empathizing and sympathizing with your pain, deep down their system, in their subconscious system, they are actually identifying with your pain and your struggle. They are saying, oh, Doc is just like us. He's one of us. He can get sick. He can get broke. He can get arrested by cops. He can get divorced. Unconsciously, people celebrate pain. And if they genuinely love you, they shouldn't just come when you're on hospital bed. They should also join you and celebrate you when you're having a graduation, when you have bought a new car, when you have bought a new home, when you're doing your anniversary, when you go for holiday. They should be able to celebrate you. But on the contrary, they won't. When you're having your fun, people won't come and tell you congrats. A few who genuinely love you will still say congratulations on your birthday, or your anniversary, or on your wedding day, or on your graduation day, or when you get a new item, you get promoted, you become a CEO. You truly know your true friends. If they can salute you when you make money, if they can still salute you when you become the CEO. So a lot of people unconsciously, because of jealous, identify with your struggles and your pains. So don't be fooled when you see so many people coming to you when you're going through pain. They may never come to you when you're going through celebrations. Misery loves company. Pain seeks for company, seeks comfort in company. So people identify with you in their struggles. They hardly want to identify with you in your success. And I want to challenge you guys. If you truly want to go to the next level, learn to celebrate successful people. Learn to identify with their success, because then you start working towards a similar success. The moment you see someone doing well and you say, well, it is inheritance. Well, it's corruption. Well, she slept with the boss. Well, he stole. You know what you're saying? People only get money when they're corrupt. And because I'm the good girl, I'm the good boy, I'm a saint, I'm holy, I'm not corrupt, then I can't get such a hotel like so and so. And that blinds you from seeing many people who never corrupted their way to the top. Bill Gates never stole anybody's money. Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook never stole anybody's money. Jeff Bezos of Amazon never stole anybody's money. Elon Musk of Tesla never corrupted his way to the top. Every time you think successful people are corrupt, or they have slept with so and so, a sugar mommy, a sugar daddy. Every time you think someone got their PhD because they corrupted the supervisors, you will never graduate. Come back to reality. Most people are good people. They work hard and God blesses the work of their hands. So the moment you accuse the successful people to be doing dubious deals, that's why they're succeeding, then you're saying because you are saying to the righteous one, then you're condemned to poverty. Poverty is equated to righteousness. Come on, come back to your senses. Identify with the successful, identify with success, celebrate the successful. That way you create energy between where you are and where they are. When you attribute success to the wrong things, you create a discord, a valley, a rift between where you are and where they are. So when you see a lot of people coming, when you are going through a lot of pain, it's not necessarily true that they love you. They actually identify with your struggles. They are seen like, hey, he's also going through pain like us. That's the time you see people coming. You have true friends who can seriously celebrate your success and your achievements. 4 lessons from my open heart surgery last year, a day like today, 4th of September 2020. Lesson number 3. Health is a gift from God. Health is a gift from God. When I went to the hospital, one of the things the doctor struggled to understand about me is how could you go through open heart surgery and you hike twice a week? I'm extremely athletic. Imagine before the surgery in 2019, I hiked 28 times, including Mount Kilimanjaro twice, Mount Kenya twice, the Aberdares about 10 times. Think about that. Extremely athletic person, exercising almost every day, hiking twice a week. Exercise gives you fitness. Health is a gift from God. Physical exercise will only give you physical fitness. But health is a gift from God. Never brag about your health. That's my message for you. Now, my dad had a friend he loved, he respected. And this guy was a Sabbatarian, devout Christian, very committed in his faith. He couldn't drink tea, he couldn't drink coffee. He didn't want anything to do with things that cause addictions. I mean, he could only drink cocoa or chocolate. He was extremely cautious with his diet. Extremely. This is the kind of a guy who checks his diet every single moment. But by the time he was hitting 65, he had suffered almost all lifestyle diseases, including blood pressure, diabetes, and he even had cancer, which killed him. I loved him. He was such a great neighbor. But I tell you, one of the things I've learned, it's okay to do everything you can. It's important to exercise. You know very well, I advocate for exercise. I advocate for healthy living. I advocate for good diet. I mean, eating right, diet and exercise. I have preached this gospel. But when I got admitted in hospital, I learned a big lesson. Health is a gift from God. Health has nothing to do with your efforts. Your good efforts will remove your belly fat and make you look better, which I strongly advocate for. But your attitude must be in the right place. Health is a gift from God. It is not acquired through diet and exercise. I know somebody who smoked until 1 or 2 years. My own grandfather, my dad's dad, he used to overdrink. He was drinking too much. He stopped on his 100th birthday. My grandfather stopped drinking when he was 100 years old, simply because he was bitten by a cobra and he got hospitalized, and that disconnected him with his bottle, and he began connecting with God and praying. The guy lived for 108 years. He was never careful with what he ate. He was never careful with what he drank. He never did any exercise. He drank every single day, over drinking, reaching home past 1 in the morning. The guy lived until 108 years. 108 years. Please, never brag about your diet and exercise, how you eat healthy. Health is a gift from God. But all of the things the doctors told me, they loved my attitude. In fact, when I was in hospital, the lead surgeon said, the one who was leading the cardiovascular team, look, you're likely to be in bed for 3 months because the average person who has gone through open heart surgery, remember this, I told you, look, they had to cut through my chest bone, remember that? I told you most guys go through what we call a bypass, which is on the side, a bypass. But for my case, they had to cut through this. If you look very, very keenly, you're likely to see a scar right here. I don't know whether you can see. There is a scar right here because they had to crack through my bones, repair my heart, I have a metallic valve. If I keep quiet completely, you will hear something ticking like a clock. T, 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 T. It's a metallic valve. It's a mechanical valve in my heart. I'm not sure whether you can hear. Can you hear it? Can I bring the phone next to the heart? Let me bring the phone next to the heart for about 5 seconds for you just to hear. I want you to listen keenly. I don't know whether you can hear that. It's a mechanical valve. And this is a major heart surgery. So they told me, on average, people who go through what you've gone through stay for 3 months on bed. Guess what? The 6th week, I was preaching in church. I was doing my 10 weeks of mentorship, the fall class. Here is what I learned. You also need to have the right attitude. I knew my day has not yet come to go to be with the Lord. I knew my day has not come. I knew my purpose was not over. I was not ready to stay in bed. I actually went back to work before full recovery. And some of you wrote to me very nice messages telling me to slow down, telling me to give my body time to recover. And I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And for the first 6 weeks, when I came back home, Mercy had to shower me. I couldn't wash myself. I couldn't walk for more than 10 meters. And up to date, I cannot sleep on my side. I can't sleep on my side. To date, I sleep facing up, which is uncomfortable. That's not what I was used to. Up to date, I have never jogged again. I hike. I started hiking again 2 months ago, but I can't jog yet. I know I will jog again. I used to jog every single day. But when I went back to the clinics, these days I do clinics once a month, but that time I was doing clinics every 3 days, then once a week. Now I'm doing clinics once a month. But when I went back for my clinics, the doctor said the reason I recovered very fast is because of my attitude. I also knew the main reason is prayer. People were praying with me. People stood with me in prayers. But it's true. My whole head, my whole mind was on my mentorship program. I knew this was September, and in October, I was starting my mentorship program. I was not ready to postpone it. You know what, guys? Your body listens to you. If you keep telling your body you're sick, you will die. If you keep confessing you're broke, you will remain broke. If you keep complaining about your husband and your wife, you will divorce or live in a chaotic marriage. Confessions breed possessions. Every fiber of my being spoke health. I have never been sick before. I have never been hospitalized before. I had never taken medicine before. This was a game changer in my life, in my lifestyle. And I knew God was taking me through serious lessons. I'm able to empathize with the sick much more. I'm able to listen to the story of those who struggle with sickness and disease. This was a life-changing experience. I don't judge people when they go through sickness or disease. But guess what? I refused to be conditioned as a sick person. I refused to be labeled as somebody living with a life-threatening condition. I refused that. They gave me a list of the things I should eat and what I should not eat. I refused totally. I eat everything. I eat meat, I eat burgers, I eat wheat, I eat everything. I eat salt in my food. Take it from me. They told me to eliminate salt. What I do is called moderation. So I will be moderate in how much sugar I take, salt, wheat, but I refused someone to tell me what I can eat or what I cannot eat. And I'm challenging you, you need to have the right attitude about your health. Your body listens to you. Your body cells listen to you. You command your health. You command your finances. You command your relationships. You command your morning. You command your day. You command your life. Life and death is in the power of your tongue. You can speak death or life to your body. You can speak life or death to your finances. You can speak blessings or curses to your children. Your tongue has the power to make or break you, to build or to destroy your life. Lesson number 4 from my open heart surgery. My 4th lesson. Life is a gift from God. Life is a gift from God. God owes you nothing. He created you, and He can call you home anytime. So at any single day you live, just know it's a gift. Jesus said, who of you by worrying can add your life by a single hour? You can't extend your life by a day. Stop fearing death and begin to live. Even by fearing death, some people can't ride an aircraft because they fear they can crash. Let me tell you guys, you cannot hold your life by a given day. 31st of August, I preached in church, fire and brimstone. The same night, I was in hospital, oxygen all over me. And other people had to come and preach on my behalf in church. I couldn't minister anymore. You know what? I'm telling you this. Prioritize your family. It is that time when you don't know whether you have an extra week to live. You get to know what you truly value. Sometimes because we run through life non-stop, because our lives get very noisy, God brings a stop sign, a warning sign, to help us slow down and listen His voice and clarify the reason for our existence, the meaning of life. When I was in the hospital bed, only one thing was going around my head. My son Zeke and my daughter Ivy. This is so funny. When I was in hospital, I did not even think about my Mercy. I love my sweet Mercy so much. So much. But I knew something. In my subconscious system, Mercy is doing her PhD. She's an educated woman, brilliant. And I knew she can get another job. I knew she can get another husband. Let's just be real, guys. Hey, come on. She can't get another husband. But I knew my son Zig and my daughter Ivy can never get another dad. I know it. They can never. I read the Bible with them every day. I pray with them every day. I drop them to school every day. I speak life to them every day. And I doubt whether there is any man in this planet who can give my children what I give them. Somebody may provide school fees or money or food, but the way I shape them emotionally, the way I shape their attitudes, the way I shape their values, the way I model them in the ways of God, I doubt whether there is a human being who can give them that father's touch. That's the only thing that was in my head when I was in hospital. I didn't think about my Facebook fans. I didn't think about the members of the church I founded, Family Church in Georgia. I love them. I respect them. Some of them are watching me right here. Even Mercy is watching me right here. My mom is watching me. My dad is watching me. I didn't think about all these people. I literally thought about my son Zeke and my daughter Ivy. When you go through a challenging, life-threatening situation, that's the time you really know what you value. That's the time you truly clarify your values in life. And that's why I'm challenging you as a parent. If you're spending time with a bottle away from your children, please come back home. The day you die and you don't know which day is that, that's what will count. Did you really invest in your child? If you invest in your child, you don't have to invest for your child. If you invest in them, the thing is this, I'm confident of what I have given my children up to now. But I was telling God, God, I don't want to go before my kids hit 18. If they hit 18 in my hands, oh God, I'm confident about the kids I've left behind and my children's children. Because I'm sure the legacy, the seeds I have planted in them, they will plant in my grandchildren. I'm saying this. When you go through a life-threatening situation, you literally clarify your values. You clarify your purpose. You start asking God. You reflect back. What am I leaving behind? Who will cry when I go? Whose life was impacted by my living? Did I make a difference in anybody's life? I knew there were other people who would be affected. There are 2 families we support with mercy. They are completely needy. We support them every month. One of them is a single mother and she has 2 children in high school. She could have been affected immediately. I'm asking you right now, who will be affected by your life? Who will cry if you die? Besides your children, your siblings, your parents. Whose life will be impacted by your departure? Who will genuinely cry, not crocodile tears, genuinely because you have left? I knew, of course, my fans who read my articles every morning, they will definitely feel it, but they can get the same content from other writers and speakers and preachers. They can get content. Maybe not the way I do it, but they will get it. But my children cannot get another father. Your kids need your presence, not your presence. You cannot raise children by remote control. You cannot raise children by spending money overseas. Or you live in a distant city and you're sending money to your kids. They need to live where you are. Parenting is not the same as sending money. If you're sending money to your children wherever they are, you are not a parent, you are a sponsor. You are AMREF, you are Red Cross, you are UN, you are any other donor. You have reduced yourself from a father to a donor. You have reduced yourself from a mother to a sponsor. Your children need you in person, not your money. If you're paying their school fees, paying their rent or mortgage, never brag about it. That's the indivisible minimum that every other parent is doing. That's not something to talk about. Who was supposed to do it? Did these kids apply to be born there? You made a choice to be a parent. Live up to it. You don't need to leave an inheritance for your children. If you can, praise God. The most critical thing is not what you leave behind. It's who you leave behind. If you invest in your children, you don't have to invest for your children. Jesus never left temples and church buildings. He never left apartments for rent for his apostles. He invested in them every day for 3 years. He spent time with them. He poured his life in them. The words he spoke, he said, the words I speak to you, they are life and they are spirit. What changes people are the words you speak to them every day. The example you set, role modeling. You teach them by your life and by your words. You must be able to say like the Apostle Paul told Timothy, follow me as I follow Christ. Such things you've seen me say and do and teach and trust them to others, my son Timothy. That's what parenting is all about. That's what mentorship is all about. That's what role modeling is all about. I hope you have learned something from my story. I love you all. Thank you very much, and God bless you. Shalom.